Hi, it's David with entry number 1014 here in my apartment on August the 26th. I have 2 points to hit today, and this might be a longer entry, but I don't know how long I'll be able to record because there's a limited amount of space on my memory card or whatever that's internally in my phone. I apologize, but I'm gonna have to drink because I'm extremely thirsty. Actually, the preamble to this will be, this morning was an extremely fortuitous day. Not because anything good happened to me, but because the weather was actually cool. It felt like it was in the low 70s with very low humidity. I was very, very happy. It's now hot, but it was amazing. We've had a cool day here in Shunan, and I'm just very excited about that. First point I'll get to is the good point. A lot of things in life, we get one of. We get one first experience with many things, first times. But the other things we only really get one of our parents. And today's my father's birthday, and every time it's his birthday or Father's Day, frankly, I take time out of my day to reflect on him, and him as a man, him as a role model, and him as a father. I think those are the three kind of roles that every man should aspire to master, or at least be really good at. And I can say that pretty much 100% certainty that my dad was a really good dad, and a good role model, and a good man in general. And every time I speak with other people, especially here working abroad, I realize how unique of an experience that is, and how special of an experience that I need to always remember that was for me. I should never take it for granted, and that I should always be thankful for basically having the life I had, especially childhood. It's a very unique thing that I don't think a lot of people really can share. I think that it really was a kind of thing I should cherish. And I do cherish my dad. I really do. It was, I'm not going to say it was 100% good times, but it definitely was never bad enough to say that it was bad at all, which I don't think a lot of people can say. People have like a threshold for bad, and if it crosses the threshold, then it doesn't matter how good the parent was, it becomes a bad parent. But nothing even close like that with me, my dad and I. Nothing even close. So I'm very just taking the time today to just be reminded and remembering that I had a very special experience, and that my dad means a lot to me. Second point, which I'm going to get to now briefly, maybe not briefly, because it is kind of it's actually, I won't sugarcoat it, it's a very negative thing. You can see in my sitting room, that's my drawers. You can see how two of them are out, and there's a whole bunch of clothes stacked up on top of it. That's what I'm going to talk to you about now. There's a lot of things like we have as children that we kind of forget about, and we kind of grow out of, I suppose. A lot of children in America at least have a kind of a security blanket, have a kind of like thing that reminds them of like their younger days. It's almost like a nostalgia object. I had one, and it was, his name, this is kind of silly, his name was Wooly, and it was a sheepskin. And over time it shrank due to pets eating it and all kinds of issues, but it shrank until it was about about 10 inches long and maybe 2 inches wide, and was in 3 pieces. So yeah, it was small. And I brought it with me to Japan, and it was my kind of little security blanket. That's what it was. And it reminded me of home. And when summer hit, I put it away because I didn't want it falling on the ground, and because I sleep on the ground here, I didn't want it touching the ground a lot, so I just put it in my sweater drawer, the bottom one in there. Can't really see it, but it was the bottom one. If you see the here, bottom one. I put it in there and I closed it and I forgot about it. That was like 3 months ago at the beginning of summer. Today I was just kind of cleaning out, because it's cooling down. I just thought I would kind of air out some of my sweaters. So I opened the drawer, and to my horror, basically the whole Woolly and some of the sweaters that Woolly was touching were enveloped in mold, and not like a good mold that I could just kind of pick off, but it was like a blanket, like a woolen blanket. Like if you ever see really thick cobwebs, like in an attic or like in a corner of a branch or something, those really thick ones that like basically just like totally cover the object. It was like that, and it was on my sweaters, and the whole Woolly was covered in it. And I saw it, and it was right there. I realized that it was gone, that there's no recovering from this. Like I could wash it and stuff, but a lot of the hairs were completely gone, because whatever the fungus was that hit my poor baby, it had just eaten it. It was eating it in the most direct sense. And I did a load of laundry and I washed all the sweaters, and I think they're going to be okay. But I have to say that today, August the 26th, 2017, is the day that my Woolly died. And, it's very sad for me. I know I kind of don't really look it in this video, but at the time, and kind of right now, in my head at least, it's a very big thing, because that was with me for like 28 years of my life. No, it's not. And that's pretty much how death works, though. Like how things are here and then they're not here, and then you just kind of move on. But for the next day or two, I'm going to be kind of sad about it, because when you have something with you for 28 years, whether it be like a tumor or whatever, it's going to be like there's going to be some sentimental attachment to that thing. But anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk with you tomorrow, or in a couple days. Bye.